Aloha, beautiful souls. I would like to share an update on my first week and a half living in the rainforest on East Maui. It's amazing. I've landed in an amazing farm that is all organic. There's truly an abundance of fruit and vegetables in all directions, like Jamaican lilikoi are ridiculously good. Papayas, there's like too many papayas. I just trimmed like 1,000 banana leaves the other day, and my shoulders aren't even sore anymore. They don't even get sore anymore. They're all shredded. Love it. I just tell myself while I'm working like 7.25 hours a day for 3 days a week that I'm just working out for 7.25 hours straight, because farm work is some solid physical working out, and love it. Getting me, I'm super healthier. I already was healthy, but like 90% of what I've been eating was grown on the land here. Like I typically just have 2 or 3 meals of fruit plates or bowls, or just grab a whole papaya and slam it. That'll fill you up. The bananas are so rich with mana, life force energy, that they're only like this big, and to eat one is challenging because there's so much electricity and energy in the banana that like one bite in, you're getting shocked. The second bite, you're like, the system's taking it in, and it's pretty intense. And so like one banana feels like it can fill you up, and there's plenty of that going on. Today, and then like I just made like smoothies, papaya, lilikoi, banana, and coconut milk. There's hella coconuts on the land, and we could just make one coconut makes like 2 Vitamixes of coconut milk, and they're super rich and delicious. So I put all those 4 in a smoothie, added a little coconut superfood creamer to it. That might have been in, and then this Ayurvedic powder. I don't really even know what it does yet, but it seems to be solid. And blended that, and it's so much energy. Like it was like 3 meals, and it's not the mass and the amount of food. There's like no protein in it, or I don't even know if there's carbs, but energy wise there's so much in it. It's shocking to the system that you take a few sips and you're like, wow. And then I put it in the fridge, and 2 more sessions of drinking this later. Actually, yeah, it's wild. There's just amazing like blue iced tea that's on tap. It has a name, but it's like this blue, super floral, fragrant iced tea that there's an abundance of. They make off the plants that are here. And I've made there's kava growing on the land, and I had some for the first time. It's really strong. Like the flavor felt light, but what I'm feeling is strong. And the homie, she told me to mix it with coconut milk instead of water. And oh my gosh, kava with coconut milk is so much more easier to drink. I would actually think it's kind of delicious. And I've already been encouraged to have a kava night on the farm, and they're like, yeah, just do it. And they said the whole community will show up, because there's no kava bar on East Maui yet. It starts here. So really looking forward to doing that. I'll be DJing during the event, setting the space, healing frequencies, everything's solfeggioed out. It's all just flowing a little ridiculous. Today's the first time I left the farm in like 10 days since I got here. My moped's been parked. to put the rain cover over, because it rains almost every day, like basically every day. And it was wild, like getting on it, because the energy on the land is so rich that my system's been purging. I feel like I'm like at sea. We're like swabbing the deck all the time. It rains all the time. You're wet. You're working in the rain. it's like we're constantly like swabbing the deck is like cleaning the counters in the barn and the in your own spots. Like you gotta sweep them every other day. You could sweep it every day, but every other day there's like a solid amount of debris that comes into this cabin. I have a tiny home, it's pretty sick. And what am I saying? There's waves, but there's water in the waves too, but it's like the wind is blowing waves of rainforest all up in the spot all the time, and the rainforest is constantly working at thriving and taking over. And so to coexist with it, you give it little haircuts around your living spaces and have to wipe all the corners of all these things quite often because mold will want to build up. Everything has to be sealed and dry, and I believe, and so I have electronics, like music production equipment, and I want to keep it safe. So I've already done the research, and I can get calcium chloride and a little calcium chloride container system that it sits up here on the top filter, and it pulls the moisture from the air and drops it into a bucket of water you can just dump outside. And I will seal the windows up when I'm not here and do this. So just this room, which isn't that big, can just have a much drier environment. And then also probably, that's only if I leave them out, but it gives me the option to leave it out and not just have it sitting in moist. Like I was told that electronics get eaten by the moisture in the rainforest straight up. Like laptops last 2 years. Unless you have these cases that are sealed and you put silica packets in it and all these things. I'm like, okay, that's a lot. Let's just silica packet the whole cabin, as well as probably do that for some of the more, laptop and the more legit gear. Because we can't be having that. And, I got some plans for this cabin. I'm gonna customize. I repainted all this. It was kind of beat to shit. Oh, I did another vlog. It was beat to shit. It just looked heinous, and the owner, bless her heart, loved the way it looked, and it really did. But I was like, eh. And the person before me that looked at it was like, I'm not living here. But I saw it. And I saw the potential, and this is the potential. I think it looks great from here. Yeah. But there's another video of the transformation before and after, and then I'll do another video for building these. I'm gonna build this Murphy desk into the wall here that folds out, and then one thing will fold out that way, and another one will fold out that way, all slick, and hold it nice and secure. And there'll be like a work desk for computy stuff or technological, or just writing, reading, whatever. So all that's pretty cool. Can't really see, it's a little lighter, but in the sunlight, I'm starting to get gold up in here. Oh, there's a little gold in there. Learning a lot about farming. I'm a farmer now. I am a farmer. I farm often. Consists of pulling a lot of weeds. My favorite parts are banana leafing, digging trenches, building compost bins, or building planter boxes, planter beds, and putting mulch and different layers of nutrients in it. That was very satisfying. Oddly enough, mowing the lawn and the trailways is pretty satisfying as well. I really love watching things transform. When I can see a big shift from kind of like whatever to like beauty in a short amount of time, that's very satisfying to me. So those things are great, and I love things that are out of the sunlight. Like shade is great, and then pretty physically engaging. Like weeding's been very challenging. I've gotten a lot better at it, but other things that are physically challenging, like banana leafing for 7 hours, and you got this spear, and you're just like, look at that Spartak! What's your pedestrian? Farm! Is cool. And digging trenches, like other people, they might not like that so much. It's just like all in the form and getting it, this deadlift kind of rowing back workout. It feels great and very satisfying. Very masculine energy and physically grounding to the earth, which for me is wonderful. So those are cool. It's driving out I drove to Hana Town today. It was the first time I left the farm and got these drunken noodles I got at the Thai food truck. Can't remember their name, but it was a trip leaving this place and going back out, just outside of here. I didn't even go back to like what would be considered normal civilization, like Kahului or Kihei. I just went to Hana Town, saw, a few dozen people, and like, I would get these looks before, but it was more across the board today of like, what are you? And I'm not talking like ethnic, like culturally, they're like, are you an alien? Like, what are you? And I'm like, I'm in between dimensions right now. Driving the moped on that road was like that's like the worst road on the island as far as like potholes and severity. Definitely a dirt bike or adventure bike is more ideal for these these potholes are basically off-road, but you just got to really navigate. And but that experience of driving after not riding the bike for like 10 days was super thrilling. Obviously, like I was just like laughing and smiling instantly, but my life experience is more intense now because I feel more alive. I can see better. The colors are brighter. And I could see the contrast and the depth of the ocean to the mountain and just like people driving at me. Just like my awareness and my clarity, everything has increased just in these 10 days. It's been doing this, but now that I'm in sync with such a healthy environment of, like, I'd say in all directions around me, it's like 98, 99% total earth nature. We got some buildings on our 14 acres, but it's just lush rainforest on the side of a volcano with a skinny road that's beat to shit, which keeps it from being developed and keeps it this beautiful thing that it is. So, yeah, it was intense. And I got some very interesting, beautiful, energetic, momentary connections with some cuties. And it was just a trip because I've been so removed from town that when I came across someone that I was next level attracted to, that was more intense. I was just very activated, and that was part of the whole sequence of events. And I'm like, oh. And we locked eyes and then kind of both smiled, and I think I looked away first and kind of ate my noodles. And then when I looked back over there, she was just staring at me on the phone, talking to whoever, and staring at me and smiling. And then I smiled, and then we kept staring and smiling, and kind of like broke into a next level of, oh my gosh, hi there. And my heart just like burst open, and then we're just like, okay. I think she looked away then. I can't even remember. It was kind of like drugs kicking in. And I'm like, yeah, I know you're here on vacation with your boyfriend. This is so awkward. But, and then, yeah, like 5 minutes later, she goes, sits down next to him. Like, that's fine. But we shared a moment that would last for a time. I learned you could make a pipe or a chillum out of this papaya leaf. Stuff some weed in there. Or, I mean, some people smoke tobacco, but some trees in there. And, it's done. And there's papaya twigs everywhere. I'm like, wow, what? We make coconut milk from the coconut over there? You got I actually haven't done this yet, but I know how to do it. I just noticed right now, all the women on the farm are the ones that are making coconut milk that are like, because which is funny because the stereotype might be that men are more physical, but there's a very physical element of using the machete to chop the coconut in half so you can then carve it out. And then there's like the physicality of carving it out. And I didn't even want to like do it. Then I got the tutorial and it was like cumbersome. It took like 15 minutes, 10 minutes, I don't know, to get this juice, the coconut meat out. I'm like, dang, that's a lot. And then it's easy. You just throw like that, and like half a coconut makes a huge Vitamix worth of coconut milk, really rich, in 15 seconds. But the first part, so today I blended the milk because there was like a third of a coconut left in there, and I was like, or in the fridge, and I threw that in the Vitamix, blended it all delicious, and then made kava with it instead of just water. And oh my gosh, it's so much better. It's actually pleasurable. I add a little cinnamon and allspice. It actually is good. I'm going to change my lighting for a moment. See, this puts different shadows on my face. That's with my eye. It's still got that earthy flavor, but there's this rich milkiness under it, coconut milkiness. I actually want to sweeten it next time because it's almost like a kava latte. That just happened. So that's how the downloads happen. The kava latte. Wow, that's really cool. Iced latte, of course. That's what that is. I'm definitely going to add some sweetener. And I'll do a sample with some cacao in it. But that feels like it might be too much at this time. I feel like Gandalf right now. Very natural. This, I guess, is too much. Next will be like getting hemp wick, or I'll just get the little campfire burning outside with a little hemp wick. But I'll start the camp wick fire with like 2 rocks. Get the wick in the fire. Mike, you'd be proud. But yeah, getting to this point in my life where I'm starting to really look at every dimension of what I put into my body. Water, oxygen, shampoos, soap. Definitely like, now I have achieved the highest level of organic fruit, which is what I've been yearning for several years since I became plant-based. My body just yearns for this, like, God, like, since I had that first orange after I was on the ayahuasca diet and cleansed my system and could feel the electricity of the orange 10 days in shoot to my brain, and this flavor was shot with it, that electricity, and it was an instant electrical to the brain that I never felt before. Because in that diet, I went without eating anything with or drinking anything with artificial sugars. Artificial sugars are taste bud inhibitors that prevent you from tasting many of the delicious flavors of fruits and vegetables, which is why kids often hate vegetables and aren't that drawn to fruit, because it's blocking that mana signal. That's amazing. Like, these fruits are like probably 20 to 50 times more stronger in flavor and energy than what I grew up eating, and definitely like 2 to 10 times stronger than I was getting at the health food store in Kihei, which wasn't bad. That was still organic stuff, most of it from the island. But, as it sits on the shelf, and fruit is, someone once told me, plants, fruit and vegetables are not supposed to travel faster than the speed of a wagon. And when they do, it's stripping the mana from it. So if you get on a freeway and do 40, which, the freeway is 40 here, even that's starting to zap a lot of the life force energy. So I'm saying every piece of fruit I'm drinking or eating and drinking is multiple times what I've ever had. Like, definitely what I'm used to. So, and now it's normalizing, becoming the everyday thing. I went the first 8 days spending $30 since I've been here, and it was just on the trees I'm smoking right now. And I cashed out that to a friend who brought it from wherever, and it was a good amount and good quality. And I'm like, dude, that's so funny. I was dropping like $30 to $50 a day on food in Kihei. Even when I went to the grocery store, just buy vegan sandwich stuff was like $40, $50. I'm like, bro, we're gonna get like 8 sandwiches out of this. What's really going on here? You got the vegan eggs, you got the highest level tomatoes, cucumbers. Vegan is the best part. The Dijon mustard, the Ezekiel breads, and so sauerkraut, and then you pour the sauerkraut juice. Oh, and sprouts with the sauerkraut on top. Pour some extra sauerkraut juice on, and it goes through the whole thing. Hits the bread on the bottom. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's fun. So, I've learned a lot. Learned so much. It's definitely a constant learning curve here. Wonderful. Wonderful. Learning all these things, like nuances, especially of farming techniques, soil biology, I don't know if mycology is one of them, but soil biology, growing, they do it here in regenerative phases, they call it. I'm open to other options, and we'll be looking into them, but where they'll plant, I think something like papaya or whatever, that use a lot of nutrients, and then when that's done, after 2 to 4 years, and they get the max yield out of that, they'll take those out and plant some next, like a year or two of something that is very nourishing to the soil, gives it a lot, helps it get to the highest level. And then they'll pull that out, use that for whatever, and plant the next level, which is an entry level growing fruits of some sort or vegetables. And when that's done and it does a certain chamber, it goes back to the papaya or the banana leaf or whatever was like. There's a system that's circulating that keeps giving back to the earth. That's freaking beautiful. That's like one of the many things going on here. It's off grid. It is off grid. There's no county, city, water or electricity. Zero. But we have Starlink. I was like, I'm gonna get Starlink if they got it. I got here, first video I watched, 1440p, 1 second. That was like 10 times faster than back in Kihei. It was like going in a higher resolution than my laptop. Ease, gentleness, and grace. The power is all from solar with battery. So I have power. I can produce music. We're good. And I got Starlink. So I can stream it with epic views. It's like everything. Epic views. Like epic. You'll see it. You'll see it in the other videos. In every video from here to come. Epic views. I can see the big island across this like direct shot. Direct shot. Like how it's abundance. Then I'm driving back to the farm today, like looking at the ocean and its epicness from on this cliff road. I was like, this is the daily now. This is the highest level of luxury. And then really sitting with it, like in shock and talking to self-coaching. You manifested this. Precisely. And it's every moment now. And now I have peace and quiet. Do you hear the crickets? It's I'm truly happy. And it's so easy. It doesn't, like, the last couple days, I've spent most of the time with myself, and I've been, like, happier than ever. Like banana leafing, I was on my own that day, just with the trees. So I guess I wasn't alone, but as far as with other humans. But with the trees, no, most mortals, their shoulders be killing them. They can't keep going. The first day I only did like 2.5 hours of it. Felt great, but my shoulders were like crushed in a great way. And then when I did it this time, a whole day, no problem, not sore after or the next day. Like, very natural. I love it because at times I feel like I have the weight of the world on my shoulders. And so when the shoulders are stacked, cruising, throwing down, no problem, that weight feels like nothing at all. And then there's this bamboo stick with a sickle on it, and you wrap the snipper, or whatever it's called, sickle, and you yank it like a samurai, and you just get the blade to slice right through it, and it cuts like, if you do it ninja, and that tree goes whoo, and every time it comes at my face, my left hand reaches out and catches it. And it's the most gratifying thing ever. I've done this in a past life, for sure. I've definitely been a samurai in a past life. That's why I love Shogun. Watch Shogun, it's amazing. And every once in a while, it just literally, I mean, this thing, it wouldn't kill me. It could fuck your eye up. I would be fine. It would never do that to me. Because my left hand caught it every single time. And it was so fucking ninja every time. Just whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Except like twice when my mind got in the way. When I thought about it and was like, oh, catch it. Oh, adjust hand this way. When I did that at all, momentarily, I think both those times my hand went up and blocked it, but didn't squeeze. It's very interesting. So once my mind and conscious got in the way, my front conscious got in the way, and spoke and blocked the signal, spirit, electromagnetic connection, this body vessel, which is super genius and intelligent, super intelligent. I didn't quite get it, but Mikey helped me see it. And then riding a moped and volleyballing and just free diving, getting into all these extra dimensions of physicality, moment to moment awareness. This vessel is just has a genius intelligence of its own. And when I can just let it run, it does all the magic. And volleyball is very much like, don't think, let it out. And we do that super ninja stuff. And so catching these banana leaves that are huge, they're like 4 or 5 feet tall. And they're like giant celery branches, but the leaves are very big. And they weigh probably like, I don't know, 1 to 3 pounds or something like that. I can see someone else being like, oh, and then needing stitches somehow. But it's like not even close. It's just this funny ass thing, and by the like fucking 15th time, oh, this feels good. And then so you snip the banana trees so that leaves that are dying and soggy and not contributing sunlight energy at an efficient level, you snip those at the base of them, and they call them water. Someone called it water suckers, because they're taking water away from the rest of the plant that bears the fruit. And so by doing this, you both get more water distribution going to the banana fruit and the tree as a whole, and you remove leaves that are not only draining from that system inefficiently and not getting enough sunlight contribution, but they're like molding and deteriorating, and they're blocking sunlight from other bamboo trees that aren't as big and are nearby. And so you start snipping all these up top, and then the ones down low get more sunlight and they get bigger, and you do this thing where you just getting rid of all the stuff that's decaying, and then all that you put at the base and squash it down, and it's mulch for the whole situation. It stays part of it. So that's very cool. I didn't know that before. I don't know where we're selling all these bananas. There's a ton of them. I know it's not just like off the farm. They must be selling them at stores, but I'm like, doesn't everyone grow bananas? Like, where are you selling these? Because I wasn't seeing these in the stores. These are the greatest bananas I've ever seen. But the Jamaican lilikoi, you want that in your life. Oh my God. Lilikois are amazing. Jamaican lilikoi is like the queen. The queen's the nectar of the queen. Oh my God. For the queen, of the queen, by the queen. Whatever that means. So there's been so much things and getting so many downloads. Sleeping late. I slept 14 hours yesterday. So great. Oh, wow. So great. Dang, I'm catching up on the sleep from the last decade that I was behind on. And yeah, grateful, very grateful. So, I shared these things. Truly, I don't want you to, this isn't like, oh, you're cool, dude. No. My heart wants you to know what this feels like, that this is possible, that you can manifest your dreams. You can do it swiftly. I didn't pay any fiat currency to be here. I didn't look on Craigslist or, get a mortgage or do a credit check or rent or any of that. I follow the signal. I start with, what do you want? Lush dynamics, super nature, abundance away from cell phones and grids and all this noise in the air. Clean water, abundance. Bathtub with clean water, abundance. Free energy, food off the land, epic views of of the Pacific Ocean from the east side of the volcano Haleakala on Maui. Epic views overlooking the organic farm, environmental agriculture they call it. I'm like, where are you gonna do better than this? I'll do some wordsmithing there. And enough space from my community mates that I can produce music loud as fuck. I won't say anytime, because I'll be respectful when it's like sleeping hours, but like, I'm only talking about loud as fuck there, loud as F, but in this cabin, I can close the windows and still turn it up without bothering anyone, and it's going to be too loud because it's a condensed box I'm in. It's so, like, what is subwoofer in here? It'd be nuts. I'm just saying, with the windows open, I can bump it pretty friggin' loud and not bother anyone. And that's super valuable as a music producer and recording artist. So I specified all these things. As like, this is what we're looking for. I kept speaking them into existence, speaking into existence, speaking into existence, and following the signals and tuition all the time. And I ran into a homie, and I was like, just met him. He looked like my other friend. And I went up, thought it was my other friend. Said, hey, oh, you're not him. He's like, no. And I'm like, oh, but I live with him. What? Yeah. Oh, yeah, we live on the same farm. Oh, that's cool. Talk story. Like, yeah, I'm moving to the east side. You have any recommendations on, like, work trade situations that are that value people and that you would recommend, had a great experience with? He's like, yeah, and he named two. At first I went to the other one, tried out for it. Then they started having some drama on the farm, me not being part of that at all. And they're like, we're not comfortable taking anyone onto the farm for like 2 months, and time goes by. And then it's like, okay, it looks like another month and a half, the eviction process has started, yada, yada, yada. Wow, that's a lot. And it was worse than that. It was, this dude pulled a gun on another friend of mine. I heard this in the Coconut Wireless, and was very confrontational on the farm with a few people. Now, that's not working out, but they have a solid farm. They're great people. They're just very sensitive, don't know how to handle that. And they're doing the best they can and being very honest with me. And sister says, here's the dynamics. I'm saying, okay, great. Thank you for sharing. Here's what I heard on my side, so you have the closure. She's like, that's challenging to hear, but thank you. And I said, do you recommend anywhere else? And she recommended the other farm. And that ends up being where I am right now. And I gotta say, it feels pretty fantastic. And they're super cool. They're like, yeah, if it works out, that's great. Maybe if you want to go there first, then here, whatever. Everything's great. They're just trying to help take care of me. And they did. And we're all working from the heart. Following what our soul's calling and purpose is. And reconnecting with the land. Learning to grow food to eat off the land that you live on. And they're going as far as making functional business model out of it. That's great too. And I'm excited to contribute, not only physical labor, but tuitional downloads and divine orchestration. I could see myself purchasing this farm in the near future and adding a few more things just to add to an already beautiful situation. And the other farm too. So one of my primary visions, here's everything they're doing is already great. But two of my things that I really want to manifest, and I'm speaking into existence on the public forum at this time, is bamboo lumber, ideally with organic. Now, I've heard about organic composite and more seeking on those physicality dynamics with moist environments and ease of washing and mold fungi situation. If that works, I like bamboo. There's so much opportunity with bamboo. It grows so fast, it's absurd. So strong. But like to get it into 2x4 form and all these different standard sizes so that contractors can just get this swapped out. And then the island will have lumber independency or self-thriving lumber because bamboo grows silly fast. It's so strong and fast, and they call it an invasive species. I'm like, no, the problem's a solution. Y'all projecting. So, moving with the energy and starting to create dynamics that make the island self-thriving. Grand thrivation awareness. The island is self-thriving, not sustainable. You sustain just beyond death or collapse. We're sustaining the movement. It's like it was created by the undeterred flexions of self to get us in this scarcity mindset, and rather than focused on thriving in abundance. Sustainability, they marketed that. It came from the banking cartel, flexions of self. So, thrivation, grand thrivation awareness. These are the things. So, yeah, a lot of that. Thank you for listening. I'm looking forward to getting the music equipment set up so I can produce and record, like my guitars and Ezra. And then I want to build like a microphone boom right into this wall so I can just pull it out, like podcast style, record, or just pull it to my bed over here. If I'm like chilling in bed, podcast, like whatever, you can do whatever. I'm gonna put this Flower of Life tapestry that's currently covering the bed. I'm gonna put it on the ceiling here. It's huge. It's probably the perfect size. Cover this. What direction is this going? Cover this, and then put white, natural light, off-white crystal. Christmas lights in these things like stars underneath. It's about to look epic. That'll be like the main light for the room. Plus, I got these bistro lights. More than enough light in all these like bougie options. Like, oh, just the bistro lights by this quadrant, in case someone delicious is sleeping over here, or more than one. And then the Christmas lights will illuminate the whole room more than enough, especially if both these are on. Which would be great for night shots, and like all I have is the bistro lights. This looks pretty great, so that'll be more than enough night shots. And then I really like how this is looking so far, but B shot is probably gonna be getting out the door, and I'll be like sitting. So I'll be decking this. That doesn't even look better. Oh yeah, we'll figure it out. There it is. There it is. So I'll put some like decorative, brain nourishing things up here. And then I'm squatting in horse stance. Maybe a little plant over there, plant hanging or something. We'll figure it out. But this looks pretty cool. So if nothing else, check this out. And then even if I'm just rocking this still, I should just be holding this just for funs. It's hella fun. It's so cool. So I could podcast like this with, just chilling like that. I feel great about the shot. Oh, actually, yeah, Flower of Life will be on behind me with stars underneath it. That's very powerful. That's what I'm talking about. Powerful nourishing of the subconscious mind for you. There's going to be codes that this unlocks that are activating in your DNA. Source codes. Just feel it. The synchronicities, the abundance, the freedom. He's going all the way. I have the vision. I have the clearance. I see it. I see the way. So this whole container, lifestyle, thrivation in the now space, nature connection in the now space, is vital to the foundation I'm building globally, getting the knowledge of how to grow food. I got it conceptually. Now I'm witnessing it hands-on, firsthand. I'm the hand that grabs the fruit from the tree. Oh, that's better. I like that. Super strong foundation for where this is all going. Building a now space paradise. As within, so without. This land with the beautiful name of Maui will be self-thriving. The first now space territory where the system that is in place to serve the people are operating with correctness in the now space venue, using correct grammar on their contracts, thus creating beautiful codes being programmed into the ether that create thriving dynamics rather than essence draining dynamics for the Vatican Bank. And it's going to be a sight to behold, and it will be very peaceful and protected, both with knowledge, with proper grammar, with awareness, and with treaties with everyone, and peaceful giving, peaceful harmony, setting that foundational frequency to grow out from. And it will naturally cascade over to the other islands first nearby, and then you'll see it pop up in Mount Shasta second. And watching that area enter the now space, ideally all of California at once. But there's Mount Shasta will also, I ran into a woman who was drumming in Soul Connections, and the moment she tapped the drum, I was just like, that woman's deep. She's on the next level. And I walked up to her and she just looked at me, and it was like brother, sister, like soul level. And we spoke so directly, and like the way you hit that drum, and she just says, I came here from Argentina, or I don't remember where she came, somewhere South America. I was guided by the mountain to come here because Mount Shasta will be the new way of living that is modeled on planet Earth. And I don't know what that looks like. There's some work to be done there by the community, and that's a natural process. You know, we have extraterrestrial friends supporting us, and I truly feel that Maui will be the first mega gain, especially with Now Space, and that'll be the second place, or all of California. And as that happens, Mount Shasta its vortex will be freed and cleansed and purified from the corruption and the mind virus that is present with the brother sister reflections of self that work for the old paradigm of control and mind F. And as that's shifted in the ether, even those brothers and sisters that served that will shift, and they will have a new clearance and visibility when if they are staying part of the system or not. They will start seeing proper grammar, or correct grammar, and they have to follow correct grammar with transparency, which will honor their soul and heart and create space for true safety and no harvestation. This is going to be bold. Ice cold. But really, it's like super warm, hard space, and no one's left out. And even the greatest of trespassers will be healed. And if they don't want to heal, they will be contained, but they will not be slaughtered. This will be a peaceful growth, a peaceful step forward for a peaceful step forward. I had just killed a bug that was suffering. It looked like he touched the light and melted an arm and a wing, and he was struggling over here for the last minute and a half. And I just felt like he was in so much pain and wasn't going to come out of it. And I did not want to, but my heart wanted him to move past this one. So I apologize. I forgive. I love. I give thanks. I apologize. I forgive. I love. I give thanks. I apologize. I forgive. I love. I give thanks. And I do my best to not kill any of them. I'm removing them from this cabin quite often, but the lizards I love them, but the geckos, but definitely no mosquitoes are on a take them out as you see them list, but the pincher bugs and the cockroaches or these things, the roaches. I used to think they were absolutely disgusting before I came here, but now they're in all of Maui, even in the apartment. They're especially in the apartment I used to be in the city. But now I'm just moving slow, catch and release, do my best not to hurt them at all, and talk to them constantly, hey, you're crossing the line. I speak to them constantly. You guys are without consent in here. You must go. And these are some of the dynamics. These are some of the friends, the neighbors. Chickens, a couple dogs and cats on the property. It's cool. It's cool. I'm very excited to make music here. Most of my stuff is still on the other side of the island. My ride fell through. That was going to carry my gear while I drove the moped in. But another friend became a super friend and she swooped it all and has it at her place in Kula right now. So that should be here soon. But I have enough, at least with my laptop, to make some things on Ableton. But I miss my MPC. So, yeah, man. It's pretty cool. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you. And hope you feel a little nourished, feel a little loved, feel a little aha or two, a little inspired. Curious, any thoughts or questions? Questions especially. Please put them in the comments. Yeah. For more information on quantum syntax grammar in the now space venue and how to operate with correctness outside of the fiction worlds of legalese and common law, please visit lastflagstanding.com. One word, lastflagstanding.com, and get the full closure by the Commander-in-Chief of the not only United States military, but the global militaries, and the Postmaster General of our world, Russell-J. Gold. Get the true update on the state of affairs and how the U.S. Corp is operating rogue without contract to be here since 1999. And educate yourself, get some tools, get some safety, get some knowledge, get some correctness. Very fascinating stuff. So yeah, I think I will go look for my laptop, download some samples from Kyle Beats' production challenge. And I feel good about that. I feel like that's just gonna line up. And then start making that fat beat. And also, he's just looking for a beat, but I'm gonna send him the beat with my vocals on the hook and a verse. And be like, and the challenge is to work with Mexican OT, who's kind of blown up. And his name came into my awareness through someone directly in front of me in a very odd way, like 3 months ago. So this whole thing is syncing up in this odd way. So I just follow it and won't be surprised when that comes through. Yeah, man. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being strong and moving forward each day, doing what you do to take care of yourself, nourish yourself, feed yourself, be safe, and for seeking awareness. Because if you're hearing this, you surely are. Surely. Or else you would have hit stop. No more. Rico, some people aren't ready for that level of awareness. That's what one of my best friends from high school said to me when I was asking him questions, and he's like staring at the TV, drinking beer, and looks at me, he's like, Rico, you're asking me all these questions, and you're looking at me, and I like, you won't stop looking at me, and I don't like it. And I was like, Andrew, we've known each other like 15 years. We've been best friends for 15 years. Why are you uncomfortable with me looking at you at this time? And he says, he was like, and he stops and he looks at me, peels his eyes off the TV. Rico, not everyone's ready for that level of awareness. And that was like a mind-shattering moment. So, for some reason, that was to be shared now. And, yeah. Look at that hair. Get yourself some Ayurvedic Kali. Ayurvedics. Khadi. Rose Repair Ayurvedic Hair Oil. They are not sponsoring me yet. I have grown thousands of additional hairs using this. It's $25 at Down to Earth. This is the second bottle I've purchased, but where's it at? So right here, I was like, oh, it's getting higher. And I just put some in here and in here too. I was like, oh no, don't go away. So I put it in here, put a little there, but then you just put it everywhere. And it's not only like growing new hairs out of my forehead, like a lot. And in here, hella. It's even putting hair between my eyebrow and my thing here, hairline, that apparently went away since like teenage years. I used to be like, oh, I have hair here, oh no. And now it's come back. I didn't even know when it left. It came back. And I have thousands of hairs growing off the top of my head. Short ones showing up every day. If like, oh, there's not enough. Thousands of reinforcements at all times. And it's growing fast. This is no joke. You don't have to go bald. Between this and changing your lifestyle so you don't count numbers and stare at an Excel sheet all day. Connect with the earth, get some sunlight, and start using this oil. Start living your soul's purpose. Stop using your brain power, like cruising at 6,000 RPMs 40 hours a week. And get more into cruising mode, connecting with source. You don't gotta be bald. Men, women, it doesn't matter. I also have hella more hair on my chest since I started using that. I wasn't even wanting that, but now it's like, alright, that's fine. It's cool. I had like no hair on my chest. Now I'm 4-0 and I'm like, okay, let's get some hair in there. Fine. Fine, I consent. It looks good. It looks good. My inner child approves. Yeah, man. This is the way. Yeah, thank you. This is, I'm going to post this on the podcast. Hope you subscribe. And, like, all that stuff, whatever to say. Sub. I'll keep you updated. We got more music production, tutorials on the way, definitely DJ playlists also spatiated out, and I'll be at some point starting Friday and Monday DJ streaming live for my volleyballers in Kihei. While they play, I'm going to DJ from Homicide. And that I will also find out how to live stream everywhere. So, lot coming for you, 'cause I love you. Aloha.